Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, Princetontrader.com, here with your Monday, 1st of June market webcast. Okay. Daily chart, and I'll zoom it in. We engaged the upper band again on Friday. So you had 4 days on, 1 day off. You got another 4 days on. They have not engaged it yet. So they pushed down last night. Let's just go straight here because the whole story is about the weekly pivot. So they pushed down last night beyond the weekly pivot. They go ahead, they take it. We were short actually. It was an okay short. And then on the conversion here of the weekly pivot, we bought it and it was a great buy. We didn't quite. What's our high here? Yeah. The close on Friday was 57.25. I was talking in the room about a conversion of the weekly pivot, and we had a marker at 24 was going to fill the gap. It didn't quite fill the gap. We traded as high as 55.25, but I'll take it. Now they promptly took that off the Europe Open and just jammed it all the way back down to 20.5. But that was chance or opportunity number 2 for the bears to convert weekly pivot. Didn't happen. They bounced it and they brought it back as high as we're trading 42.5, 42.75, 43 as I tape this at about 10 after 7 in the morning. The key today, I expect it to be pretty whippy and choppy off the open, maybe all morning long. I want to see how we close relative to the weekly pivot. I think that's step 1 for the week. It's going to be key. It's already been tested twice. We've spent more time there in the last, 13 hours since the market opened than we have in the last, couple of weeks. So let weekly pivot work itself out. It's the 1st of June. You got a new monthly pivot that's down here at 29.51. It's not miles away, but the bears continue to have a really tough time executing on the edges of the range and being able to progress any kind of range expansion in a meaningful way. And what happens there is they drive it down, dip buyers come in and buy it, and then you look at the daily chart and you're talking about, basically a band ride and a secondary band ride. Whether that continues today or not remains to be seen. Right now, the daily upper band is at 79. I think they'd have to print 80 to 82 because the band's going to expand as price rises. They're going to have to print 80 to 82 to survive it, to keep the band ride going. Maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. But the reality is whether the band ride itself keeps going. And doing a band ride at all with the bands as wide as they were was a pretty impressive task if you think about it. But on the back end of 20 to 25 days of compression, at least relative compression, it was compression with some pretty big candles. If inside, it wasn't one of these every day's a 5-day range and let me go bang my head on the wall because I really want to pass out early today so I don't have to deal with this anymore. It wasn't that kind of compression. So being able to do a band ride with that kind of bandwidth and those kind of larger range days was pretty impressive to begin with. So to be able to pull that off 8 out of the last 9 sessions, I think we can give the bulls rather a round of applause. And if we start trading in between the bands now, I think that's okay. That's not bearish. The daily mid band is down at 29.25. It's not even on the screen. Does it need a look? Sure. But I don't even want to think or talk about a look until the bears show me they can convert one meaningful line and keep it converted. So they have a few opportunities. What's a meaningful line? Hourly mid-band's a meaningful line. Weekly pivot's definitely a meaningful line. And taking out weekly pivot and the 9-day and converting them to resistance would be even better. If you did that, people might think it's a two-sided market. And considering everything that's going on in the world right now, the fact that it's not a two-sided market, I'll trade it whatever. It doesn't matter. But that's interesting to me. So I don't think it's going to be as simple as just walking it to the upside. I really don't. But the thing I've always said to people, and the thing I'll say to you all right now is focus on the 10 handles in front of you, and the next 10 handles will take care of itself. Just focus on the 10 handles in front of you. Don't worry about geopolitically what you think should be happening, or your ideology, or your, well, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's a tape. It's price. It's not supposed to make sense. Hasn't made sense in a long time. What is the next 10 handles going to do? And everything else flows from there. If you're going to day trade the S&P 500 futures, that has to be as far down the road as you go. That's it. Next 10 handles. What's the next turn? And that'll take care of things. So let's see what happens today. Again, whippy choppy off the open, could last all morning. And where do we close? Where do we close relative to the weekly pivot? All right. Everybody have a great day. Be safe. Be healthy. Stay strong. Take care. Trade them well. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Princetontrader. Check us out on Facebook and join us for a free trial at www.princetontrader.com. Trade them well.